Welcome back to our next episode for our landscape tutorials. This time around we're going to be taking this plain looking landscape and we will be making it into a grassy haven with cliffs and get an ocean in there as well. So what the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get that water in. So we are going to go up to edit and plugins, and we need to just search for water. Now this is an experimental plugin, so I wouldn't recommend releasing anything with it. But they will be releasing updates for this as they go. Enable it. You will need to restart your engine as well, and once you've done that, under the actors tab you should have all sorts of things, such as, if I type in water, you got all these different water bodies: river, ocean, lake, and so on and so on. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a water body, ocean, and you can see that what this does is it actually creates an ocean around this mesh. So if I bring this mesh up, because it's way below, so you can see, other than the small area inside here, it is just nothing but ocean. So on the right hand side we want to untick affects landscape, and we want to make this spline as small as possible. Because everything inside that will not have any ocean. So just have it hidden underneath some mountain somewhere, and that in itself is a good start. Next up, we want to be able to make a grass and cliffs on our material, so we need to create a new auto landscape material. So under content, we're going to create a new material function. We're going to call this mf_grass. And in here, you're going to use your textures if you have one, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use just a bog standard plain color. So I'm going to use a nice deep green. This will be our grass color. So drag off output result, and you want make material attributes, and plug base color into base color. Now when you have a roughness map or an opacity map or a specular map or anything like that, you will put it in here as well. I don't have any of those, so I'm going to be just putting in values. So I'm going to have a roughness of 0.85 for the grass, a metallic of 0, and a specular of 0.1. Copy, save and apply. And I'm going to just duplicate that quickly, and we're going to call this one MF stone or MF cliff. Just so we can change the color to grey. Add the metallic to a bit more, 0.25. The roughness, let's just rearrange them to the right place. The roughness we want 0.95, and specular we can have it as 0.05. Okay. We're going to create a new material, so we're going to call this one Auto Matte Landscape. I'll open it up. From your content browser, you can click and drag both of those functions in. We're going to go break material attributes, and we're going to take the base color and we're going to lerp between each one into our base color. Now we're going to plug in the specular and the roughness and the metallic into the same things. Exactly as we did that time. Metallic, specular, roughness. And we're going to need a world aligned blend node. Plug the alphas all into here. And we're going to need two parameters. So we're going to press S, hold S and click. We're going to call this one blend sharpness. And plug that into blend sharpness. And we're going to need blend bias. We'll plug that into blend bias. So as you can see, it's grass on top, stone on the bottom, but the angle at the moment is it's going to mostly be grass. So we'll just extend this bias to -10. So anything up to these angles, or even -15. So it's more just the top bit. Anything else that's steep, it counts as a cliff. So we can apply and save. And with your landscape selected on the right hand side, choose your landscape auto map. Now as you can see, all the cliffs are cliffy and all the tops of the mountains are green. And all the plains are green as well. So you can run across this, you can see exactly where it is. And but if you want to paint a layer on top of this, so for example sand or dirt, then you're going to need to do the following. So if you open up your auto material, and in our lerp for our base color, what we're going to do is we're going to add a landscape layer blend, and we're going to create 3 indexes. We're going to call one auto. I'm going to plug the lerp from our base color into that. We're going to add one called dirt, and we're going to call one called sand. We can then duplicate this for all of our properties that we're using, and then plug the auto into each of these lerps. So we're going to add a roughness of 1 for both dirt and sand, just for sake of sanity. Also, we're going to set a value of 0 for the dirt and sand, for the specular and for the metallic. Then if we press 3, then we can choose our color. So we're going to have a nice brown for dirt, and we're going to have a pale yellow for sand. Plug them in to our layer blend, save, and come out, and you'll see that the landscape is now black. That's because if you go back up to landscape mode at the top, go to manage, go to paint, go to paint and you will see 3 layers here. For each one you will need to click on the little plus sign and add a weight blended layer. Just add it anywhere. Rinse and repeat for all 3. And now with our paintbrush we can actually go in and paint. So we can add sand all along. And then when you want to paint, you just select a layer. So I'm going to take this sand, I'm going to make this brush smaller and the tool strength a bit lower, a bit more of a fall off, and we can paint directly onto the landscape. So I can make myself some beaches, just whilst these bits go into the water. Maybe make the fall off a bit bigger and the tool strength a bit lower. And same with the dirt, just get the dirt brush. Lower the brush size a bit more. And you could always just paint dirt paths. And there you have it. That is auto materials and a water plugin. It also shows how to create layers in your material as well. Obviously the water is just a plane. You can walk on it. There's no code or any scripting involved. But that is how to create a landscape. Next episode we'll probably just walk and add some foliage. Some trees and some grass, and we'll talk about colouring as well. But no, thank you very much again for listening, and I shall see you next time. Thank you very much.